I won't ask you right now what you'd rather be doing because I think that's going to be a whole story into itself. Now, your mom and dad, you mentioned that your father had a soldier settlement. Was he in the military?
And he was called up towards the end of World War One. There's a picture in there of him in uniform.
Oh.
With his group that he was, and he didn't make a career of it. He was called up, and he took the training.
Yes.
And he seemed to like the training. And they rode, see, he was in the cavalry. So they rode, and they had to ride bareback over a 3-foot jump. And these guys were complaining. Dad said, that's nothing to it. He says, I'll get on the horse backwards and go over the jump. And he did.
Well, your father had probably inherited some of that innate love of horses and just being comfortable on a horse from his father.
Granddad. Yes. Yeah. Granddad was awfully good with a horse, as he called them.
Now, did Laurie, that was your father, may I call him Laurie?
Pardon?
May I call him Laurie?
Oh, yes. Everybody called him Laurie. His name was Lawrence.
Yes.
But they called him Laurie. Except Granddad always called him Lawrence.
Lawrence. Well, I've heard you mention that when people refer to him as Laurie. I was just wondering about the polo, because I know polo was a big part of your dad's life. How did that happen?
Well, the thing was that Eric was working on the ranch for this couple from Britain. You see, they're British, and of course you had to play polo, and so he had all the cowboys playing polo. So somebody said there's a museum in Calgary for American cowboys and one for Canadian cowboys. People said, what's the difference? Canadian cowboys played polo and dressed for dinner.
They certainly did in this area, that's for sure.
They learned that. That was the British
influence.
Dad, every Sunday, he'd carve the roast with a jacket on. He'd
dress for dinner.
Very fussy about that. He sort of dressed up a bit.
Yes.
In a casual way on Sundays at home and carved the roast.
Well, what was the polo team?
The polo team, it was just the Cochrane polo team. And for a while, it was the Rhodes Ranch had their own polo team.
Did they?
And the Kerfoots were on the Grand Valley polo team. There was 3 Kerfoots.
Can you imagine that many teams just in this little area?
The pictures my sister got. She was one. She just grabbed anything she could get, and Mother was just dishing things out to her,
So you have seen photos, though, of
the photos, but
yes,
I don't have them.
And I believe they even played some teams in BC and maybe California.
Oh, they played right from BC to Winnipeg.
My goodness.
They won the Western Game Championship, and Peggy has the mug trophy.
So the Cochrane team actually won a few games.
Won the tournament one year.
Isn't that
and
remarkable?
And the runners-up the next.
Do you remember who any of the other polo riders were?
Well, there was Archie Kerfoot, and something was said about putting a radio on them while they were playing. And Mother said, well, they wouldn't want to do that with Archie. But anyway,
wouldn't want to hear what he was saying.
Archie was outspoken. One time, somebody was visiting his ranch, and he specialized in purebred Hereford cattle, you see. And this guy was trying to sound knowingly, so he showed him his, I don't know, it might even be it was the yearling bulls, or calves or something, maybe they were calves. And the man said, how long will it be before they're bulls? It'll take a hell of a long time.
Well, the polo teams certainly have left their mark because I have read references to the polo teams, but do you know where they played? Was there
in Cochrane?
Whereabouts in Cochrane?
There was just west of Cochrane.
Yes.
There was, that open patch.
Yes.
That was the racetrack.
Oh.
It was the best turf track in Canada. It was 1 mile,
Oh, fantastic.
and they used to race there.
Now, your dad also was a good rider and had some
Yes,
good horses for riding, I
rode
understand.
races. He was, well, it just depended, because he was a little bit overweight. He wasn't jockey size, but he was a good rider, and he was a light rider, so.
Oh,
And he
excellent.
won races.
Those races must have been fun.
Oh, yes.
Were they still racing when you were when you came on the scene? Can you remember
No.
the races? No, they'd already
I can remember
finished.
seeing the old racetrack and
What
some
a
of that,
shame.
how there's the railing around there. Some of them were down, and when I saw it, and it was no longer
I suppose about the time that automobiles started being used more
more.
often, and those horses just became a luxury almost, I suppose, instead
Well,
of
it
a
was a little
necessity.
different. But the thing was, in the 30s, at what was started out to be a car, they turned them into wagons. That was the Bennett buggy.
Oh, did your family have one? A
Yes.
Bennett buggy?
Oh, yeah.
Can you
I
describe
rode
it?
in one a lot. And you went, when we lived across the river, that place over there, Mother would drive the old team to Morley for groceries. And I always rode along with her.
To Morley, isn't it
Yeah,
something?
it was about 6 or 7 miles, I think, from the house.
Did you cross the Ghost? Or how did you get to Morley?
Well, when we lived here, you had to cross the Ghost to get down there. But when we lived across there,
Yes.
it was just, you
Easier.